Hello, I'm Louisa Higgins, and welcome to Easy Arts for Everyone. Today we're going to do a lesson based on the artist Frida Kahlo, and we're really focused on cultural relevancy for this lesson because there's lots of artists in this big wide world, and we want to learn about people who have cultures different from our own and really mix that up and incorporate as much learning as we can into our art making. And so Frida Kahlo is an artist who is from Mexico, and during her career she really rose to incredible fame and even posthumously. So she's really well regarded. She's done very interesting work. And the two things that I really especially appreciate about her is her life is a tribute to the arts as healing, because she had a lot of health challenges. So she had polio as a child, and then as a young woman she was in a very serious bus accident which left her in a body cast for over 3 months. And that's when she really got serious about painting. So out of that painful experience, she transformed herself and became an artist. So I think that's really, really interesting. And then also she's very well known for her self-portraits. So today we're very familiar with selfies. And those have a particular look, and they're meant to be super flattering, and we play around with the angles and the lighting. And that's not what Frida was trying to do. Frida was really trying to make herself known, what she was going through, her expressions at that time. And so her self-portraits were really also transformative to her, a way to reach out, to tell you what was happening. And she wasn't cutesy about it. She wasn't generally smiling. And she had incorporated elements of things that were happening to her or objects that told a story. So I think that is highly interesting. I'll show you a couple of examples of that. So here is one of her self-portraits. And you can see she's most definitely not smiling. She has monkeys in this image with her. And she's also quite well known for her eyebrows. She had very prominent eyebrows, and in some cases she portrays them kind of growing together in one sort of brow. And the other thing, if you see this picture, this is a photograph that was taken of her. This is a photo, not one of her artworks, a photograph of her in bed, and you can see she's painting. And she's painting herself, so she's doing a self-portrait. And she's laying back, and she was also famous for always having wreaths of flowers in her hair. That was a decorative element. So she was very known for being outspoken, for brave, and very much herself. So we're going to do a portrait of her as if she's in the hospital bed and she's laying down and her hair is flowing away from her. Kind of, I call it upside down Frida. But in order to create that artwork, we're going to do it right side up, because it's a little bit hard to draw or paint upside down. And I've done this with different mediums, so traditionally watercolor, but I felt like doing something different today, so I have some oil pastels and some markers. So the first thing you want to do is we want to have her face, and because it's upside down, and this is just the particular way I chose to do this, and you don't have to do this, you could have her whole face in there, but I'm going to draw kind of the top of her head. And if I continued the movement through, it would be like this. It would kind of be like an oval, like an egg. So I'm going to do the top half of her face. And I've chosen the skin tone that I think is appropriate. And then when you're doing a face, if you kind of do a quadrant like that, it helps you line up where things should go. So right around here where this cross-section is going is where I'm going to draw the eyes. I'm going to draw them kind of in an almond shape overall. And then I'm going to do the placement of the nose. I'm just going to do the suggestion of a nose like that. And then I'll do her lips kind of starting here. And of course, if I was to carry through, they'd be down here. I'm going to add some ears, which would be up kind of around the eyes where they are. And I can go ahead and add an eyeball. And then of course we have the eyebrows that I mentioned were very, very Frida, very prominent. And when you're using pastel, I'm not going to do all that right now, but you can really lightly work on it and then start to blend it with your finger. And you can add color, more detail, and so on as you go along. And so if she were laying back in her hospital bed, I would have her hair kind of flowing away from her face, like so, and off the paper. And I would want to incorporate the flowers that she was so famous for. So I would have, that happening across the top. So this is just kind of a fun little portrait of her. And if you kept going, you'd add a detail and so on and fill it in. But the other thing that you can do, as I mentioned, she was really the queen of self-portraits, is you can do your own. Like you can decide, okay, I'm going to do the top half of my face, and I'm going to have whatever expression I want to show with my eyes, whether it's joyful or it's sad or it's surprised or what have you, and then do my hair, however that would look. And I'll show you some examples that I've done in the past. And so if I was doing upside down Frida, right, I would display it like this, but put right side up. This is a version that was done with watercolor. And you can see I went back and added color as I went along. And this was a student interpretation of the same assignment. And she looks a little different, but you see they really went for it with the brows and the hair going straight back and just one flower there. And of course you also have the background that you can fill in and make it pop and add more color to your painting. So I encourage you to look up Frida Kahlo. There's lots of wonderful books about her. Check out her artwork. She was so distinctive. And remember those two elements, cultural relevancy. We really want to look at all kinds of different artists from around the world and what they're doing and what they have to teach us. And we want to think about arts as healing. How can we use the arts to express emotions? And sometimes they're hard emotions. And for her, being in that serious accident, that was transformative for her and really brought her art to the surface. So thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe to Easy Arts for Everyone so that you can get our new content when it comes through. So put the music on and let's make some art. Thank you.